wonderful to meet you all, and I take great joy in being one of the people that gets to welcome you to GW. One of the nice things about being a dean is that I get to come in and do these welcomes, and actually it's other people who have done all the work to make them happen. We have a wonderful team of people here who are going to guide you through both today and through this program. And it's really on their backs that this entire thing is built. And so I'm just the person who's welcoming you here, but the people who actually make this happen, you're going to be spending more time with as soon as I depart. I wanted to take a couple of minutes just to talk about what we're doing at the school, to give you a sense of what you're becoming a part of, and what our excitement about the future is. To my mind, this is an incredibly exciting time for business school education. Sometimes it might feel like the world is crashing down around us. You know, every morning I wake up and listen to the news and think about all of the things that are going on. What role does a business school have to play in all of this? And of course, I don't need to recount all of the details of what's going on in the world around you. But of course, also having the people that are trained in the right way and actually thinking deeply about what it is to be a leader and to be a manager and to be running projects in this very complex landscape is, in my mind, the best contribution we can make. And it's one of the wonderful things that we can do as an institution. And I hope it's one of the wonderful things that I can try to do as a dean, is to make us even better at doing those things. Now, just to give you the Cliff Notes version of some of the issues that I think about when I think about running a business school today, I like to think about business school in the last 40 years of historical context. I'm actually trained as a sociologist, and actually even before that as a Chinese literature person, and so I come out of a humanities and kind of deep social science background. And my interest has always been in understanding institutions and the power of institutions, but also grounding them historically in thinking about how the world has shaped who they are and how they can then shape what the world is. And in some sense, business schools have, in my view, over the course of some time period, we lost our way a little bit. I think we followed the trends of neoclassical economic theory, and the reason I say 40 years is because I kind of date that beginning, that entry point of the growing power of neoclassical economic theory with Milton Friedman's, the famous Chicago economist who eventually won a Nobel Prize, his entry into the political scene in the early 1970s. And it really became a popularization of the ideas that markets are independent, abstract systems. They are systems that you can, in some sense, disembed from society. We don't need to think about governments. We don't need to think about social systems. We don't need to think about culture or politics. Those are all maybe important, but they're kind of external shocks to the system. And what we can do is we can analyze markets as independent entities. And business schools kind of followed suit. We became more and more disembedded from the rest of the university and from the rest of society in some ways. Of course, we had great economics departments, great finance departments, but we kind of built ourselves around the functional areas of the disciplines. Now, to my mind, that was a big problem because there were major things happening in the world as that was occurring. There was, of course, the globalization trends that were occurring over the course of the 1980s and have only picked up steam and grown exponentially. And then there was, of course, as you disembed people from society and from issues like ethics and social responsibility, you don't teach them the core values that are so important to running business organizations. Because make no mistake about it, corporations, besides nation states, are the most important and powerful institutions in the global economy. They have very, very special attributes that we attribute to them because we want them to actually drive our economies forward. And this is a very important thing, but it means that the students that we train then have the responsibilities of going out into the world and being a part of them. And if we don't train them the right way, you will get the accounting crises of 2000 and 2001, and you will get the financial crisis of 2008 that we're still feeling the effects of today. And so the idea of actually running a business school that cares deeply about those issues but becomes re-embedded in society in a much more aggressive and forward-thinking way than any other business school is in the world, to me was a fantasy. I wouldn't have imagined that opportunity would come along to me at this stage in my career. But somehow I got into a conversation with some people, and 18 months later, here I am, a year into a job that to me is the most exciting job in the most exciting economic moment that this country faces. And where would I want to do that job? course I'd want to do it 6 blocks from the White House and across the street from the IMF and the World Bank and the IFC and 20 blocks from Congress, because this is the moment. But this is the moment. This is the moment to do this. And it's not just the moment for us all to sit on our hands and wonder what the heck's going on in the nation's capital and why is the world sitting where it is. And it is the moment to change the world. I often say that I want to train a group of students who are not just interested in making a living, but in making a difference and changing the systems that they're in. One of the nice things that happened was I inherited a school that was already very committed to those values. This is a school that went very deep on the issue of ethics several years ago when a number of schools were debating whether or not ethics should be part of the core curriculum. But it was also a school that was very much, in some sense, entrepreneurial and had developed a number of different programs that would allow us to go deep. And of course, if you want to think about change, you want to think about change at the organizational level, the national level, or at the global level, I can't think of a program that's more tied to that than project management. Project management is all about change. And so then, taking a class like you guys and turning you over to a group of people who have been in this game for as long as any other business school has, to my mind is just, this is what we're here to do. This is what we're here to be all about. It's about giving you the knowledge that we have and putting you in dynamics that you can actually learn and that are the best pedagogical dynamics and the most cutting-edge ways of thinking about these things. So we can all be a part of a group, you plus the business school, that are all about changing the world in some kind of positive way. So I'm just, every time I do these welcome events, I'm so excited about what it is we're doing, but in the area of project management specifically, because it's so much about global issues and global change, or about change just in general, I think I'm just thrilled to welcome you here and to have future conversations with you over the course of your learning here and as you become alums of the school as well. So thank you very much for your time. I again welcome you to the school and hope you have a great day and a great time here at GW. And my door is always open. I'm on the 6th floor of Duquesne, and so please come find me. Thanks.